So like overall, it's kind of hard to like actually trace back a point to when you realize you're trans. Like there's the coming to the realization of, oh, this is what I want, which for me that was between the ages of like 16 and 18. That is when I was still holding on to masculinity and like feeling like a man to some degree. Most of the time it was just there's parts of masculinity I liked, but I didn't actually like being a man. It was I liked being strong. I liked helping people. I liked some of the like expectations of masculinity, but I didn't really like fully performing all of them or really going about my life as exclusively a man. I wanted something more like a punk woman, which is kind of interesting, and that gets into how weird and funky gender is and expression and all that, which we don't have time for. But so there's that, and then as time went on, that was back when I identified as like gender fluid, because some days and during certain times of the day it was very much more, oh, I'm a man, or I'm a woman, but for the most part it was just kind of neutral. Like there was nothing there. Sometimes there was a hint, but it's like a hint of like hoping to look like a woman, which was kind of interesting. So it definitely evolved as time went on. It got to the point where I just said like I was genderqueer for a good chunk of time because there wasn't really any need necessarily to put a label on it. It was just I'm definitely not cis. For me, it was I looked at myself and I decided to take on that label and take on that identity because it was the one that closely or is closely connected to what I felt, but it's really kind of nothingness right now. There's nothing there, but there's also kind of womanhood. So technically, a term like demigirl could fit because that's like only partially a woman, but that's getting into more complex. Looking back on my childhood, however, that's interesting because I was the joke is my parents were so supportive that they completely missed everything because there's a lot of, oh well, like a boy can go do ballet, he can like dresses, sewing, cooking, like typically feminine gender roles where I was allowed to interact with them and do whatever because a lot of these things are beneficial. Just about everyone should know how to sew because sometimes you just gotta fix up clothes. That and it makes certain hobbies easier. So like there wasn't really any distinct way because I was allowed to do that while still keeping the title of being a man. So I never really had a strong way of figuring out or learning that as I got older, there's definitely kind of this connection of like shame and, oh, starting to like actually trying to assimilate, but I hated that because it's assimilation, and assimilating into anything's just not fun, especially when it's not you.